Do you want to create a home that is comfortable, organized, and inviting, but you don't know where to start? Well, you're not alone. I know that I struggled with this, especially when I added all of the growing to my journey. All of the growing of my own food, all of the homesteading. The home sometimes gets forgotten, but our home is the center of our homestead. So we need to find a homemaking routine, and we're going to talk about and define what that is. And I'm going to share my most important 30 minutes of my homemaking routine. So let's get started on your journey to a happier and more productive home. Let's get growing. Hello, and welcome to the Pray Just Plant podcast, the show that talks about growing a garden, a homestead, a healthy family, and most importantly, growing closer to God. I'm your host, Crystal Media, owner of the Red Ridge Farm Homestead, where our mission is to help women of faith find the courage to grow healthy food for their family while building a closer relationship with our Lord and Savior. That's you. Don't let the world hold you back. Pray Just Plant. Hello, fellow growers, and welcome to the Pray Just Plant podcast. I'm your host, Crystal Media, and today, in this episode of Season 10, Episode 9, we're going to talk about the home. And if you're following the Purposeful Journey, that is the Purposeful Home stage. We're going to talk about not only the home, but also what a homemaking routine is. And I'm going to share with you the most important 30 minutes, yes, only 30 minutes of my homemaking routine. But you may be surprised what it is. And very essential for me. This 30 minutes is something that puts my whole week in order. It helps me find purpose in my home and come up with strategies and ideas that continue to help make my home a peaceful and joyful environment, especially when I'm still doing all the other things. It's spring right now in Wyoming, and sometimes the home gets forgot. But with this 30 minutes or with a homemaking routine, it's really easy to keep up on our homemaking duties as growers as well. So let's talk about what is a homemaking routine to begin with. Sometimes people think of that as, it's like a cleaning schedule, or it is where you have a cleaning planner or something put out there that this is, and there's several people that you could follow, like Fly Lady. She's one of my favorites. That deals with a lot of cleaning. But what about homemaking? Well, let's first define homemaking. And I think that gets misguided when we forget about the first essential word, and that is home. Our home, especially as growers, functions in so many different ways than just cleaning our home. Our home is where our families find security. Our home is where we can find peace of mind, where we can find a place to get into God's word. Our home is the center of the homestead as well. When we talk about homesteading and growing our own food, it starts in the home. And in my purposeful growing journey, I talk about each of the different stages of creating that purposeful life for yourself. And the first stage, of course, is to find your goals. Why do you want to grow your own food? Why do you want to create purpose in your life? Why do you want to break away from the systems? Find your why. Get your family behind you. Figure out your goals. That's the just grow stage. And next is the purposeful kitchen. Where's that at? That's in our home. And when we're talking about homemaking, a lot of making happens in the kitchen, doesn't it? We're making that good food for our family. Maybe we're not growing it yet, but we're making the decisions to create better and healthier foods for our families. And the next stage is the purposeful home. And that's where we expand, not only just into the cleaning. And I've always thought that homemaking was just all about the cleaning and making sure my house was, visitor worthy, but it's not that. It's also making a place and transforming a house into a home for my family. And when I saw it from that point of view, homemaking changed for me. It became a place that I could create a spiritual and mental and even financial stability for my family. Because the well-being of a family is in large part dependent upon the responsibilities and the household management that is accomplished by a homemaker or a person who's taking care of the home. Now, does that have to be mom only? No, I believe it's everyone's job. I mean, we need help we need to reach out to our family because they help create that peace as well. If we're the only one picking up after ourselves and our kids aren't and our husband's not, they are not contributing to creating that peace and joy. And I think creating a homemaking routine is not just for one, the homemaker, but for the household. It's household management. So we've talked about home and we've talked a little bit about making, especially on our growing journey. We're making the food, right? We're making maybe some DIY solutions for laundry detergent. We broke apart homemaking, and now let's look at routine. Well, routine usually means something that you're repeating over and over again. Is it doing the dishes every single day at the same time? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that's how you see a routine in your home. But routine to me is when we're starting to build habits, when we automatically get out of bed and we make our bed, because it makes the bedroom feel whole and it makes things move through our day more seamlessly. So routine can be different things to different people. It can be a cleaning routine. It can be a looking at a certain app, which what I've kind of been doing lately is I have about 4 apps on my phone that help me organize my day, and each of them have to-do lists on them. And also I have, different planners that I've tried, and I've tried different cleaning routines. But I think the biggest thing is it comes down to routine, which means we're doing it over and over again. Because isn't that what happens in our home? Everything is continual. If we are going to cook food 3 times a day, that means we're going to have to do dishes 3 times a day. If we are going to feed our family, if we're going to wear clothes, we're going to have to wash them. If we're going to sit on the couch and watch a fun movie, we're going to have to clean up afterwards. All of it is repetitive. All of it is continual. So should we not develop a system that is repetitive and continual? And that's where the word routine comes in. So a homemaking routine, let me just wrap it up, is just something that is continual and maybe a little bit repetitive, or something that you've changed into a habit that can help you bring the other part of the making, help you be a little bit maybe more efficient in the kitchen, maybe give you more time in the kitchen to create those really good meals for your family, and make your house a home, the third word, right? Making our house a home. So to me, that is what a homemaking routine is. It's something that brings order and balance to our home so that we and our family can have a positive and comfortable environment to grow in. Growing starts in the kitchen. Growing starts in the home. So that is what a homemaking routine is. The next thing that I want to discuss with you is the benefits of a homemaking routine. I've kind of hit on them a little bit with defining what a homemaking routine is, but let's get in a little bit deeper. I found an amazing blog post by Felicia Graves. I will share it in the show notes, that really hit home when we talk about benefits. And she had a kind of different viewpoint on it than just like, one benefit would be to have a clean home, right? You're finally getting everything in order. You have a clean home. It's easier for you to cook meals in your kitchen because it's clean. Yes, those are important. But I think also a few of the benefits that she mentioned go a little bit deeper into our role as a homemaker. Sometimes that role is disvalued. Sometimes we ourselves disvalue it because we want to do other things. I know I've done that before. But one thing that being a homemaker or creating a homemaker routine can benefit us is, first off and foremost, financial management and budgeting. This is something that really hit our family really hard about 5 or 6 years ago, when I finally read a few books on financial management and budgeting. And it has changed the way I see money. It has changed the way my family sees money. And it has created a large amount of peace of mind. Because as a homemaker, as someone who wants to create peace of mind in my home, finances is part of that, right? But what if you had the time and the energy and a little bit of know-how to where you could create a budget, or you are making sure that you are paying your bills on time? That's where it comes into the routine. Something that a homemaker or someone who's managing a home needs to deal with. They need to deal with the money side of it. How much are groceries? How much are the electric bill? How can we save on the electric bill? How can we make a budget to go on vacation? How can we make a budget for clothes for our family? How can we make sure that this money is being saved for right reasons, as well as being saved for wanting to add to our homestead and build that fence we need so that we can get a dairy cow or dairy goats, or build that barn, or whatever we're doing. Money is so encroached into our society that it has to be managed at home. I know there's a lot of financial stuff that I didn't learn from my school system, but I learned afterwards, and it's been a battle because my husband is very financially oriented and he learned these things. He went to school for business. He knows about budgets and all the things that happen on that side where I didn't. And I'm so glad that now I know that this is important, because as a homemaker, that's one of my jobs. That's one of my responsibilities to create peace in our home, is to find a way to manage the money and make sure that the bills are paid on time, and finding ways to save money. A budget allows us to stay in control of our finances. I never thought that. I thought that the budget was always trying to control me, but in truth, it's us controlling our money. It allows us to stay in control so that we can reduce financial stress, we can be prepared for the unexpected, prepared for the future, and encourage just better financial decision making. When it comes down to, okay, I want to build this goat barn, or I want to build my greenhouse, or I want to do this, or I want to go out to eat, or I want to even make simple choices like that. And we say, okay, well, I can do that. I can go out to eat. That's a frivolous thing. Oh, that'll be easy. But the going out to eat budget has been hit. It's been met. And this would be an additional charge. Well, where's that money going to come from? Well, it's going to come from probably your goat barn that you keep dreaming of. So helping us figure out and manage our money is a huge asset to a homemaker. And as part of a routine, that means that you're going to stay on top of those things. I try to balance a checkbook once a week. I try to go through the bill drawer or the turn-in drawer where the mail goes once a week, so nothing gets left behind. That builds that routine. The next benefit she talked about was mental health improvements. I've seen less stress in my mental health. One, finances, but also just walking into a clean kitchen to make supper every night is just amazing. It brings a little bit of less stress, right? And a little bit more of excitement of going into the kitchen instead of drudgery. And that's our purpose when we are creating a home, right? We're trying to create a better place for our family so that they can thrive, so that they have a safe place, so they can still go out into the world and have that higher self-esteem, because they know that they have a place that they can go to that feels that they can have peace of mind and not be stressed. This continues. I love this benefit that she mentioned, which was homemaking as a ministry. I never thought about this before, but makers can create a comfortable, enjoyable living environment that promotes the well-being and happiness of your family. Can involve providing emotional support, encouraging healthy habits and routines, and promoting a sense of security and stability within the home. But also a ministry, the other word there. Well, ministry is just sharing God's word. And who are the main people that God asked us to bring to him? Jesus got mad at the disciples for not letting the children come to him. He wants us to teach the children. He wants us to have time for that. And when we are home, we can have time for that. And I homeschool as well, which I'm not saying you have to homeschool, but a homemaking routine can help include a ministry as well, especially to our family. Another side note, I'm trying to make this episode short, but I'm getting a little side noted today. One of the big words, and if you're on my newsletter, you've probably heard this already, but the big word for me this year is serve. Mary ties this so well in a verse that she said to the angel Gabriel. The exact words aren't coming to mind. She said, "Behold, I am your servant." I had to run out and look at the verse. I have this wrote on my window above my kitchen sink, and it is, "Behold, I am the servant of the Lord. Let it be done unto me according to your words." I don't want to go all deep into the story, but she is pretty much saying, yes, I am willing to become pregnant as a virgin and give birth to Jesus. But that verse really hit me in this area of my life, that as a homemaker, my ministry, the thing that God is asking me to do, is to create a place for my family, to serve my family, to create that peace of mind in my home, because that peace of mind gives them peace of mind, that gives them security, that gives them the things they need so that they can go out into the world and do what God asked them to do. For so many years, I have found a drudgery in my homemaking. And when I finally found that this is something that God is asking me to do, He made me a mother. He made me a wife. He made me the person I am. And in this situation, in this time, in this moment, He is asking me to humble myself and to serve Him first. Through that, I'm to serve my family, to serve the people around me, to encourage them, to bring them closer to the Lord, to do so many things that sometimes I feel beyond myself. If me doing the dishes is going to serve my family, is it going to create a happy place for them, then I'm going to be willing to do the dishes, because that's what God is asking me to do. He's asking me to create peace in my home so that they can have peace in their journey, so that when they go out and face the world, this world out there, they have a safe and secure place to come home to. The next benefit that she talks about is flexibility. Flexibility with our family, because the things that when we create a routine, they just happen. They become habits. They become something, and then you can feel the openness of bringing someone into your home and inviting someone over for dinner because the house is picked up. It's not perfect. It's not completely sparkling. I know my house isn't and probably never will be, but the table's picked up. The kitchen is clean so I could feel comfortable making a meal for someone else, and I can be flexible because the things that needed to get done got done. And we can spend time on Saturday not cleaning the house because I didn't get it done all week. We can spend it doing something fun and being flexible. Because that's the other side of a routine, is it can be flexible. A routine doesn't have to be like you do this at 9:15 and you do this at 10:15 or whatever. Routine can just be when you get up, whatever time it is, you get dressed, you make your bed, you go into your bathroom to brush your hair, you grab a rag or you're brushing your teeth and you grab a rag and you're wiping the counter off, and then you throw that rag in the dirty clothes hamper, and then you grab your hamper and you grab a load of laundry and you go do it first thing in the morning, and then you maybe go through the rest of your day and do something else, whatever is in your routine. But then at lunchtime you have certain signals or certain habits that, oh, it's lunchtime, I gotta go remember that laundry that I put in, so I'm gonna go move it to the dryer. And that's what creating a routine, that's what creating habits can help with. And if you're thinking about habits and you're like, man, I really want to create habits, I have a worksheet for you that will walk you through creating a habit. It's like 3 little steps. You will be amazed how these 3 little steps can help you develop a habit that will stick. And I will put that in the show notes below. But another quick benefit that she had was you're going to increase family bonding. Well, of course you are. You're going to be spending a little bit more time with your family, especially when your kids are young. Maybe they're not quite off to school, but you're going to create that time instead of your time just being cleaning the house. So those are just a few benefits that creating a homemaking routine can help you with. Maybe they're not exactly benefits that maybe you thought of before, or maybe your situation is a little different. Basis is that you are creating something in your home that is going to create purpose and joy and stability, and you're going to get rid of the stress so that you can just enjoy your day in your home, and your home can be a safe place. So finally, the 30 minutes of my homemaking routine that is just so important to me. It's only 30 minutes. Now you might be thinking, okay, what is she going to tell me? Is it her morning routine? Is it her time when she gets up in the morning, which I've kind of described? Is that the most important thing? Well, sometimes it can be, especially on a stressful day, but this is only 30 minutes a week. Not every day. This is 30 minutes a week. That is my most important time. And you're going to be surprised by this, but maybe not surprised if you listen to an episode that I did a few months ago on productivity. And it was a book that I read called How to Get Things Done by David Allen. And the blog post and podcast episode is called The Secrets to Staying Motivated and Getting Things Done. Of course, I did this a little bit before I read his book, but I really didn't know what it was and what the definition of it was until I read his book. And I also followed another lady called Misty Winkler that she talks about a little bit. She talks about a little bit with her homemaking, but she talks about a lot with homeschool and other things. And my most important 30 minutes of my homemaking routine is called a weekly review. Are you surprised by that? Are you surprised that it's not 30 minutes of mopping my floors or getting caught up on the laundry or all the other things I could list? Are you surprised that it's a weekly review? Maybe you won't be surprised when I get into the definition of what a weekly review is. Well, weekly review is where you review. And I've talked about it a lot when I've talked about the garden audit and the homesteading audit, or when you're looking back. And what a weekly review does is it helps me look back. I look at the first 5 minutes of it is I'm looking back. How did the week go? Did I stay up on the things that I said that I was going to do? Did we get the projects that we decided that we're going to do done? Did we, this is of course on the homestead, in the growing life and stuff, and the purposeful life. Did we get those projects done? What is it that held us back from getting the projects done? Did it rain for 3 days in a row? Was everybody sick? Or, what were the things that didn't help us get things done? Was it me getting stuck on Instagram? Me and Instagram are having a little battle right now. I'll tell you, I'm trying to limit it on my phone. I'm almost on the verge of deleting the app, but I'm trying to not do that. But I need to control my screen time. But what are some things that stop me from doing the things that I wanted to get done in my homemaking or just in my everyday life? Write a couple notes down of what I can do better. And then the next 5 minutes, I review my goals. Okay, what goals did we get done? What projects did we get done? Because I want to celebrate some wins too. Not just what didn't I get done, but what did I get done? Wow, look at this list. I did 20 things on the list that I said I was going to do. Oh, there's 5 that I didn't get done. And I can feel bad about the 5 that I didn't get done, but I've already reviewed and figured out why I didn't get them done. So I'm not beating myself up, right? The next thing is I'm looking at my wins. Wow, I completely decluttered the whole kitchen this week. Or wow, we got the greenhouse halfway done this week. Or wow, we got the goat barn cleaned and we got the compost spread out and turned 3 times this week. I'm looking at my goals. I'm looking at my wins, the things that I did great. That's the first 10-minute review. What didn't I get done? What did I get done? And also in that review of what did I get done, what are the things that I did to help me get that done? Then the next 10 minutes, I look at my homemaking. What did I want to go into there? Was there a big project in the home that I wanted to get done? Like, I talked about the reorganizing of the kitchen. Did I get it all done? Did it benefit me to do those things? Or if I tried out a new cleaning routine or a new schedule, did it work? Was it things did I enjoy about that? And then I also look at, in that 10 minutes, I go and do a quick scan of groceries. And now I'm looking forward. So there's the review part, and then there's the looking forward part. And I look at the meal plan that I had in the previous week. Well, did I make all of those meals that I bought those groceries for? Or did I get all of the laundry that I thought I was going to get done? Did the kids get a chance to clean their bedrooms? Did whatever was on the schedule? I am a follower of the Fly Lady when it comes to cleaning routine. And I really enjoy how she has it broke up into zones. And so I'll look at the zone. Okay, what things did I not get done in the zone, or did I not have any time to do anything in the zone? If I didn't, I don't get mad at myself, of course, but I look at it and say, okay, I want to add this to next week's goals. I want to do something there. And basis of my weekly review is just to look at things and see how things went and how I can do better. And not be hard on myself. Look at the wins too. And then the last 10, I look forward to the next week. So looking back at that meal plan, did I cook all the meals that I bought the groceries for? Well, maybe I didn't. Well, I can add those to this week's meal plan. Okay, what days would that fit? Let's get the planner filled out to all the appointments we got this week. What appointments do I have this week? Oh, maybe I have a birthday coming up in 2 weeks, or maybe I have a birthday coming up next week. I need to get a present, so I put that on my list. Oh, we've got doctor's appointments this day, or I've got the buck coming because we're breeding the girls and I've got to make sure I have the pens ready and all of the things in the growing side of everything. So I look at my schedules on what I have wrote down that needs to be happening in that week, and I get it wrote out on our calendar, and I get it wrote. We have a calendar on our refrigerator now, so that everybody knows the schedule. Everybody knows what's happening, because one of the biggest questions, maybe this is you too, what are we doing today? What are we doing, Mom? What are we doing? What's on the schedule? And now I can say, it's right there. Go look at it. Before I would just tell them, and I'd repeat myself loads. What can I do to to make the schedule better for next week? What can I bring over from last week into next week? What are the goals that I need to bring over? What are the projects that didn't get quite done? What can I move over? Okay, let's make the new meal plan. Let's look in the cupboard really quick and see, do I make out the meal plan? In that time, I'm like, okay, well, what cleaning things do I need to get done? What homesteading goals do we need to get done? I need to get those figured out. And then the last 5 minutes is, what can I do now so that, or what things do I need to do to make those things happen? So if we're building a fence or repairing a fence on the homestead, what are the things that I need to do on Monday, on errand day, when I'm in town, that I need to pick up till we can do that project? What are the things that we need to do to get something done? What is the first step of each of the things that I want to get done for the week that I need to do? And I write those down on the days that I need to do them. So if it's an errand day, because that's the other thing the fly lady does, she has things broke out per day. So Mondays is my errand day. It can be any day of the week, but it just has to be one of them. And Mondays is that day. So I need to write a list of the groceries I need to get for the meals. I need to write a list of supplies I need to get to do whatever projects we got figured out. I need to drop off the donation clothes on Monday, whatever the things I need to do. Then I can go through the week and just really flush out everything. What is the first step? If I want this goal to happen, what's the first step that I need to do? So then when it comes to the week, when it comes to the homemaking, when it comes to the routine, I've spent the time, only 30 minutes, going through what didn't work and what did work, and making a plan that can help me get through the rest of the week. And I don't have to think about what I need to make for supper. I don't have to think about the odd and in things that come up in the day. Yes, I have a routine for cleaning because I'm following the fly lady a little bit, and I'm still me. I'm still Crystal. I'm still as disorganized in the home as can be, but I'm trying. And that 30 minutes is the most important part of my weekly homemaking routine. It's not even done every single day. So when you're really busy, you can break that weekly review into daily reviews, just so that you can just spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day saying, oh, this is what I got done. Pat myself on the back, congratulate my kids. Oh, kids, look what we did. We cleaned the whole house today, or we did whatever it is, we did those things. We fixed the fence. Because on your growing journey, creating that purposeful life, we're talking about homemaking right now, but this is a big but. We are not only leaders in our home, but we're leaders on our homestead. And that means we're planning everything, not just who's making supper or getting supper on the table or making sure the laundry gets done. We're making sure that the goats get milked every morning. We're making sure that the pigs got their food. We're making sure that if the new pig is coming in, we have the pen ready. We are making sure that we want to put in sidewalks this year. Okay, we're making sure that we're talking to so-and-so about how we're building the sidewalks, and making sure our husband picks up the supplies and all the things. And sometimes it can seem very overwhelming when we add the growing to homemaking, but it's all together. And that's why I think a homemaking routine can help you, because it can help you involve everything in a weekly review. My most important 30 minutes of my week, and could be the most important 5 minutes every day, is part of managing. Most of it is all managing my home and my homestead and my growing journey. And it's something that you can do and put into your routine very easily, whatever your routine is. So if you're building a routine and you're wanting to learn about habits, be sure to check out the habits sheet. It's a 1-page sheet. It's called Growing with Habits. It will definitely get you started on habits. If you want to learn more about getting things done and being productive and learn more about my weekly review, check out that blog post, and it's a podcast episode too. You can listen to it. But think about some things that could be helping you, that you could do repetitively and do in your own way, and just make a routine out of, that could help you bring peace and joy to your home. You don't have to be the iconic homemaker to make a change in your home. And that's one of the biggest things that I am seeing with the word that I mentioned earlier, serve. I'm not trying to do it perfect. God's the only one. Jesus is the only one that can be perfect. All I'm trying to do is to serve just a little bit better than I did yesterday. And that's what a homemaker is. And a routine means that I'm just doing whatever I did yesterday again and again, if it worked. So you got to look at your review and make sure it worked first before you do it over and over again. So I want to thank you for joining me here at the Pray to Plant podcast. This episode was supposed to be short and sweet. I really, really tried, but there's so much of this topic that it's amazing. If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the Red Ridge Farm Fellowship of Fellow Growers. Be sure to join our newsletter where I send out information all the time on all the topics of the 6 stages of the Purposeful Growing journey. Also, free resources every month. You get one free resource depending on what stage of the journey we're in and more. So I'll put the link to the newsletter in the show notes below and the description below. And I just want to thank you for joining me. And as always, don't let the world hold you back. Pray, just plant. This week's episode is brought to you by the Building Soil Health Handbook. This handbook was designed to help you take the guessing out of improving your soil, to help you become the expert your soil has been waiting for you to be. Many of us think that we're gardeners of vegetables and gardeners of fruits, but we're not. We are stewards of the soil. In this handbook, I walk you through the 4 steps I've used here at the farm to improve my soil. I want to help you become the expert that you never realized you could be. To grab your free copy, go to redridgefarm.org/resources.